Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back. It's been a while. I'm currently on Christmas vacation from my teaching job, so I have 2 weeks off, and it's actually the Monday of that vacation, and I've just been itching to film a video, like probably for the past week and a half or so. So I'm here today and I have all of my 2025 planners. Now, this looks a little different. I have my two bullet journals, but I also have an Erin Condren here. And that is because in April, like mid April, I switched over here. So I couldn't just show you the two bullet journals because that's not a full picture of 2025. 2025 has actually been I think, the hardest year of my life, and we'll get into that. But I've got my bullet journals. I've got this that I will flip through in April or May. I also am currently suffering from some sort of like sinus something. So I'm hoping my nose isn't stuffy right now. I'm hoping it'll stay that way, but I will try to edit out any and all sniffles if there is any. But let's just start. So let's see what we have here. So this is my January to June. I usually have two books a year. This year I just jumped out, and you'll see that I jumped back into this one. This is one that I got off of either AliExpress or Amazon, but it's like one of those like AliExpress ones, I think. So it's 160 GSM. I've put on a sticky pen loop. It's got this cute little whale on the front. You can see that I put a date started, date finished. I did not finish the dates, but anyways, um, let's just go right in. It looks like I have glued these two pages together. That's probably for the best. I've been loving this type of future log. I love having the calendars so that way I can mark off like holidays, PD days. I like to mark off report card days, and then you can see that I put paydays like actually in the future log. And then any appointments that I have, anything orange means that it's an appointment. And you can see I did a countdown for school ending. And then I just have a sticky note in here for later than July because I had some stuff. So future log. I've been doing this for, I want to say, like at least for sure this whole year and maybe all of 2024 or half of 2024. But anyways, I've been doing this and just like keeping track of like my colors and things because I do a mood tracker, but you'll see that anyways. I have goals in this journal, which I did not put into my other journal. I actually put them in my phone. And most of these, I stopped going to the gym, but I've been in my basement. I stopped tracking with Parrot Pal like as soon as I wrote this goal. We have had 12 new meals. I have not used all of my new candles, all of my candles. Haven't quite gotten to 100 books yet, but I think I'm at like 85 or 86. But I have my sinking funds page. And then straight in. So I have a page like to mark down like what days my bills are supposed to be on. So that way when I do like my actual bills for the month, I can come back here. For the most part, I know them. And usually I just kind of look at last month's, but I still like having this. And then January, I think, was the first month I ever did like no stickers. So I actually found this design that I liked on Pinterest and I tried to do it with my own colors. And then you can see my monthly. And then I always do like a daily summary and a mood tracker. I do a finance log. I do it a little bit different now, but basically it's my paydays and my bills. And then I do a movement tracker with stickers, and I like doing this. Page for brain dump, and I also did a quote page. Now, sometimes I use my brain dump like thoroughly, and sometimes I don't use it at all. This just happened to be one that I didn't use at all. And then all my weeklies. So I try to do a different weekly every week, and I think I was pretty successful with that in 2024, but I'm running out of ideas in 2025, so you will see that I do like repeat some. And this is also a planner that I only did the days of the month in the month. So you can see that this goes to Friday the 31st, and then when we go to February, there'll be a page with just like the 1st and the 2nd, the Saturday, Sunday, and I tried to do that. But yeah. It's an order I put in on AliExpress. I think I got most of this except for I didn't get my inks, which I got a refund for. And then I tried to do like a word of the year. I kind of fell off. I tried to do like fun and special holidays. I never went back and looked at this. And then I'm right back to stickers. I did some marker, you'll see, but I loved this kit from Planning with Kay, this otter kit. And February is like the love month, and the otters were just like so cute. You'll also notice in these books that I tried to do like not typical themes for each month. Like February otters, like do they match? I don't know, but I try to do like weird themes each month. And it's just basically like the same every month. Like I put a meditation tracker. You can see that I did not meditate at all. I was trying to form a habit. It didn't work, but for the most part, they're the same. See, here's my Saturday, Sunday. I did a quote page. And then I guess I did do quite a bit of like water with markers here, but I used this layout like a couple years ago and I hated it. And then I decided to redo it a different way because I think I did like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday a couple years ago, and this time I did it across, and I think that worked a little bit better. Changed it up, needed a change. And then here is another theme that I did with markers. This is one that I found on Pinterest as well, and I kind of did my take on it, I guess. I'm pretty sure all of these have videos on my channel from the beginning of the year. March was a shitty month. Holley passed on the 24th, 25th. Holley passed on the 25th, and I think that was the hardest there. I can't even talk about it still. Yeah, she passed this week. She actually passed this day, and then I had to go back to work for parent-teacher meetings, and I had to pretend that I was okay. And I wasn't. Maybe I shouldn't have talked about this, apparently. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. But basically, I haven't flipped through these. So basically, Holley passed on the 25th, and then my will to live just, like, disappeared. It was really hard for a really long time. It's still hard, obviously. I can't even talk about it. But, this was a hard month, and I haven't flipped back through these planners. And April I set up, but I think I stopped using it. And I can't tell where I stopped using it because I back planned. I feel like I used this. I think this might have been it. So let's put this aside and let's pull out, I'm just going to stick the bookmarks in here. Let's pull over my Erin Condren. So they were doing all the Erin Condren things, and I was just like, I want an Erin Condren. So this was like $200 Canadian, ridiculous. And basically I added in some pages. So this is supposed to go right to this. So I added in a future log for myself because I enjoy my future log. And then in the Erin Condren, they gave you May and June, and I put in April. So I made like the same type of, what is this called? Like a dashboard, this thing. Okay, made one for April, made an April monthly, and then made the weekly. So you can see that I have like what's going on today. I have a to-do list, and then I have where, like this is like my summary, basically, and then I put movement down here. So yeah, so I went in here. Holley was like 30 days away from her 11th birthday when she passed, which sucks. Glenn and I went and got our tattoos on the 26th. So we both got her name. Glenn got her name in my writing, and I just got a script. And then this is her nose, and this is her feet. And Glenn got her feet and her nose, and then her name, but his is like here. Yeah. So we both went and got our tattoos on the 26th. We spent her day off together. We went and hiked her favorite trail. We went to Cape and Rage. Like, we just did all of the things that she would have loved to do. So this is when this book actually arrived. So I just kind of had these on a ring somewhere. I can't remember what I was doing, but yeah. And I was doing my ASL class at this time. Yeah. And I used this like basically like a bullet journal, but with stickers. And I made myself like matching stickers and, you know, all the things. Tried to use some washi tape. Tried to cut down on the box stickers. This is June. Tried writing this way. And when did I stop liking this? Probably like as soon as July rolled around. July month I have. And then I have this week. And then, yeah, I stopped. So this is where I stopped using it right here. Oh, God. Like, this planner is so expensive to have only used a little bit. But anyways, basically after I'm done this video, I'm taking out all of these months and then putting in these months because I got the 18 month planner. And then I'm going to use this in 2026 because that's when it's dated for. I'm going to use this as my memory planner because my memory planner is running out. So you can see I have my Holley picture on the front. Kept her close. But yeah, so I spent like half of April, May, and June in here, I guess. And then I was done. I was done by the first week of July. All right, let's see if I can get this back in focus and camera where it's supposed to be. All right. So straight back in my bullet journal. I did decide to back plan so you can see that everything's filled out. Except for this. This year really sucked, guys. It really, really sucked, and I hate it. And I don't even want to say like I'm excited for next year, but this year sucked really bad. I feel like a downer. I'm so sorry. But anyways, I went back and I just like really experimented, but you can see like these are all like they're the same layouts. I love doing this. I loved these flower stickers. And then June is my birthday month. I was fully in my Erin Condren for June, so this is all back planned, and you can tell that it's back planned because it's very neat. Usually, well, except for this, usually my bullet journal is a little messier, but was this no, this was the last week of school. Yeah. Math Olympic Spirit Assembly, Quanta Spirit Game, Cape and Rage. We went to Cape and Rage. That was fun. That was good. I enjoyed that. Yeah. And then this week was very weird. Very different. But I have a couple extra pages. And then I usually just like use these for like if I need some thick paper. You'll see when I show you my reading journal. I cut out a piece of paper and like printed on it actually. But so that is January to June. I really, really liked this journal. It did not get as thick as they usually get, and that's probably because January and March didn't have stickers in them. They were all basically markers, so it wasn't super sticker heavy. But there is January to June. Let's look at the one I'm currently in right now. As I'm filming right now, it is December 22nd. So I'm still in this one. I have almost fully set up my 2026 journal, and that will be the next video that I have up. But so I think this journal, or maybe my last one, was the one that I started doing these like little cards. So I hated setting up my marker swatches in every single journal, so I started doing them like this. Now my new journals apparently are a different colored paper, because when I hold these up to my new journals they look different, so I'll have to make new ones for my hemlock and oaks. But basically I just have like all the markers that I could possibly use. I mostly use my Tombos and my Crayolas, but every once in a while I need like my mild liners because I need like a milder color. But I have those in here. I also have my grid guide, which I use religiously. And then I've been doing this $10,000 in 100 weeks saving challenge. I found this on Pinterest and it was $10,000 in 100 days. I have changed it to 100 weeks. And I started in January and I should be done in October 2026. And that is for my bus. So on the front, I just have my name. I very rarely put my name. I don't think I ever put my name, but for some reason I felt like it. This also is a, oh God, what kind is this? I can't remember what it's called, but I think I got this one off of Amazon. Is it Duke? Buke? B-U-K-E? Buke? Anyways, this is 180 GSM. It's a little bit thicker and it's got the gilded page edges. I enjoyed this notebook, but you'll see if you go and watch my 2026 like my lineup, you'll see that I've switched to a soft cover notebook because I want to be able to use my covers. Like I want to use my leather covers. I bought the Tamagotchi Hobonichi cover, so I want to use my covers. But this one I decided to put a year at a glance because I like being able to see all of these things laid out for the year. And I like specifically doing a July to June. I think I'm actually going to do a detachable one. I did do one that's like in my journal, but I think I'm actually going to also make a detachable one. But here it is. I also got a notice that it's time for my eye exam, so I stuck this in here, but I can't make it until January, or else my benefits won't cover it. But anyways, another future log, same thing. This is also how I did it in my new one. I like this one. I've tried a few different types, but this is the one that I like. And you can see I have one of my bookmarks on here. I like having the boxes up here. In this one, I had the calendars, but I prefer seeing it like this. So a couple bullet journals ago, I had these boxes here, and I like being able to put like my stuff that I do on a quarterly basis. So like changing out my razor and my loofah and my toothbrushes, right? I do that every 3 months. I like to write that down. But anyways, future log, themes for the year, and then another bill one. I didn't even finish this one, you can see. All right, sinking funds, and then straight into July. I really don't put a lot of like beginning pages in my book anymore. I don't know why, but July I wanted to use the rainforest kit. And actually July is when we adopted Kaya in June. So Holley passed in March 25th, and then on my birthday a rescue posted a little dog with giant ears, and I saw the post a few days later on June 6th, and I was like, and Glenn and I had been seeing a lot of rescue dogs. We were like, oh, look how cute. But Kaya was different. I sent him her picture and I was like, I'm gonna fill out an application. I just have to. And honestly, it was the same way with Holley. Like I was like, Glenn, we have to bring her home. She's ours. We have to bring her home. And he was like, yep, I trust your judgment. He knew that I had made the same, declaration with Holley, and he was like, yep, let's do it. So we filled out application like June 10th or something, and then she actually arrived on July 20th all the way from Texas. She was supposed to be here on the 19th, but they got caught up on the border on the first day, and so it delayed them. So she actually got here on Sunday at like 10 p.m., but she was worth the wait. She really was. August, I started doing like some of these currently pages. I enjoyed doing this in my Erin Condren, so I was like, let's just try to bring it over to my bullet journal. I think I actually did one. Yeah, I did one in July too. But August, I usually use like a yellow and purple theme in August. I don't know why. It's just something I do, but and you can see like same layout, same stuff. I have my bills and my movement and my brain dump and all of the things. And then I think I used quite a few printables this month. Maybe I didn't. Did a Dutch door with the little honey pots. I thought that was cute. Another currently, or end of the month reflection or whatever. And then September, I've been waiting to use this theme. The girls in my bullet journal club convinced me to wait until September because it's like the perfect September theme. But it's the same. This is different. I wanted to see if it was out in a big calendar, if I liked that better, because this month we started going on like 2 walks a day. So I actually made another tracker because they didn't really fit in the small calendar. Like if I did 2 things. So I was like, let's do a big one. And then of course this month I did nothing but walks because I went back to school in September and school always kicks my ass. You can see here that I did my moods, but I didn't actually fill anything in, and you will see. Back to school always kind of kicks me in the butt, but this year, I don't know what it is about this year, but this year like really kicked me in the butt. And I kind of like, I didn't fall off my bullet journal. You can see it's quite full. It's still organizing me, but I stopped tracking here because I was just so freaking tired. And that's all it was. My every single day was just tired. And I was still using this big calendar, but I kind of stopped. Well, this is still quite full. I wanted to do like all the recipes I made for Thanksgiving. I got one done. Planning for my book, my reading journal. Jeez, words are hard. Trying to keep up with my ASL learning, like trying to practice fingerspelling and all of that. I've since fallen off a little bit. You can see there's nothing really here except my stuff, like my appointments. Same with this one. Like I'm not really doing a whole lot of like to-do lists, but I loved the November theme. I loved this cozy theme. I don't know what the fuck I did here, but there it is. I started working out a little more consistently in November. Left a page just in case I wanted my mood tracker back because you'll notice that I did not put one in. I have my monthly, my finances, my movement. I left one just in case. Never wanted to put it in. November I didn't use like a whole bunch. I put in like my appointments and stuff. But and then December. So December I wanted to use more of my stencils because I was running out of ideas. I used a stencil for this one. I put my mood tracker back in, and I mean today's the 22nd. So I'll go back and do like some of these that I remember, but I've been sick for quite a while, and if I haven't been sick, I've been waking up with a headache, and like this, I stayed home on the 16th because I was just like, I've been sick for 10 days. I need to just be sick. This needs to get filled out because we've gone on walks, and I did a workout this morning and things, but I did movie tracker. We have watched the Santa Claus. I need to rate it. I also got a tattoo designed on Instagram. I just seen one of her posts, and she's called Halloween Herbivore, and I started following her, and she does like tattoo tickets, so you can get like her illustrations tattooed. And then I don't know, like a month ago she opened up like customs, and specifically custom pet portraits, so you send a picture of your pet and then she can do like whatever you want behind it. I figured I'm already covered in flowers, I might as well get some more flowers. So with Holley I got some sunflowers because she was my sunshine dog. She was constantly She constantly had her face towards the sun. She would get up and move with the sun as the sun tracked through the window. And same thing with outside. Like as the sun would get further behind the house, she'd like move with the sun because she wanted to be in the sun. So she's got sunshines. And then Kaya is from Texas. So I searched like native flowers to Texas. And the bluebonnet was a native flower to Texas, and they look like lupins to me, so I loved that. So I got that, and I'm in the midst of seeing if my tattoo artist can fit me in because I would like this, and I think I'm gonna get this on my thigh, but obviously much bigger. But and then used a stencil for this weekly, and then didn't use a stencil anymore, and actually planned this one with my bullet journal girls on a Thursday bullet journal. Same with this one. And planned this one with Lindsay and her aunt when we did a bullet journal night on last Monday. And it's so funny. Her kids tend to plan with us as well. They have like their little journals and stuff. And I was just kind of like talking to myself out loud, and I said, week of Christmas, do we think I'm going to really dive into my journal and keep some memories, or will I abandon it? And her son, who's like 7 or 8, he looks at me and he goes, "You're going to abandon it." It was adorable. I was like, you know what? You're right. So I thought I'd go full friggin' goofy. Found this on Pinterest, made it up. It's supposed to look like a quilt, but anyways. And then the last 3 days of December, I just did here. I've got like a page for notes. And then this book is I think the first book that I have something on every page. So we had a snow day and we had to do a PD on the snow day. So these are my notes from the PD and this too. And then I was doing some planning because I'm bound and determined to get out this summer and go camping because we did nothing the past summer. So summer 2026, we will be going to a bunch of places, and I'm like tentatively picking some dates, like which ones we want to go to first. And like I'm starting the first weekend in June after school. Being a teacher is not my whole life, and it should not be allowed to take up all of my energy. So you know what? I'm going to save some of my energy for things that I want to do. And then I really want to use my stamps next year, so I was trying to like plan out what I could use for each month, but then I got bored. These are all the people that we sent cards to. Glenn was testing a pen. I got these off of Amazon for my reading journal, which I am faux show gonna film when I do my 2026 lineup because it's part of my 2026 lineup. And then just like the final page. I guess this has nothing on it. And then this tends to be, I don't know why it tends to be my scribble page, but there's a pocket in the back. That is my 2025. I'm just going to stick the corner of this in, but you'll see this book again, this Erin Condren book again, because this is going to be my memory planner for 2026. Because I paid a bunch of money for it, I might as well use it. I've just been going through my backlog of old Erin Condrens and just redating them, like for the past few years. I still have a couple left to redate to use, but if this one's dated 2026, I'll just do that. But I know myself, and usually I would have just like made an Erin Condren layout in one of these bullet journals to like help with that itch. But I was so deep in my grief, y'all, and there are some days that I'm still so deep in my grief, and grief is crazy. I mean, you guys watched me. Like, it's still like it's gonna hurt me forever, but I've been able to talk about it in real life. I think going through and seeing like, you know, the notes about how I was making like Holley wasn't feeling well, I think that got to me. But anyways, I'm sorry. I do not want this video to be depressing. I want it to be a look back on 2025. 2025 was the worst year of my life. But apart from the shitty memories, I'm still glad to have these memories and all of the creativity that's in these books. And I know my bullet journaling is boring because it's the same month after month, but I hope you got like some little pieces of inspiration, like out of the weeklies or the monthlies or the daily summaries or whatever. But I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was super depressing in the start. I apologize. And if you are struggling with something, just know that you are not alone. And my DMs over on Instagram are always open if you just need an ear, because I'm still in the throes of grief, y'all. I really am. But I really hope that 2026 brings all you could ever want, and I hope that your holidays or your winter break or whatever it is that you tend to celebrate over these next few weeks is going well for you. Me, myself, I am Christmas nesting. I am baking like crazy, and that is not like me, but I'm really, really enjoying just like making a bunch of things. So anyways, I will see you in the next one, which is probably going to be a 2026 planner lineup. Hope to see you over there. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.